Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. I am coming at you from the classroom already today. I hope you had an awesome weekend. I had a pretty relaxing weekend. It was sort of stressful because on Saturday I brought my car in for an oil change and then left spending $500 on new tires and a new headlight and a wheel alignment plus my oil. So that wasn't very fun. But other than that, it was pretty relaxing. And I always prefer those types of weekends. I like going out, but I'm also very much a homebody and an introvert, so chilling on the couch, watching some Netflix, and doing some schoolwork is pretty much my life. Anyway, I am actually about to leave. It is 10 to 9. Today is a professional day, so there are no students, and I have been working on an article review that I just kind of wanted to reread because I am meeting with my other SLP co-workers at 9 to kind of discuss it. I'm dropping things. It is on oral narrative comprehension and production abilities of verbal preschoolers on the autism spectrum. I can't talk, it's way too early. But it's basically an article review discussing the abilities of preschoolers with oral narratives and how they perform on them, because there isn't a whole lot of research done on children of that age level diagnosed with autism. It's usually children that are 6 and above. So this kind of goes into the research behind that and kind of seeing how they perform and implications for diagnosis and then intervention skills, just kind of where they perform. But I feel like most of it is pretty consistent with research for the older children with autism. It kind of does the same things. There are some particular issues with children of this age, namely in this review, the select group of children. Some of them, I don't want to say a lot of them, but like a good handful of them didn't participate and like wouldn't do the story retell, and they couldn't correlate that to anything involving their language difficulties or anything like that. So they did want to look into more behaviors in the future if they kind of recreate this study. But I see that all the time, so I feel like they should have accounted for that. Children, even without autism, any child that is young, I mean even older, but mostly the young ones, sometimes they just are non-compliant and don't want to participate, and you just kind of gotta roll with it and do what you can. But when you're conducting a study and everything has to be exactly the same for everyone, it's kind of hard to differentiate to make it semi-interesting. But they did discuss maybe in the future picking better materials that would be more interesting and motivational for children of that age group that do have autism. But it was a pretty interesting read. We are going to discuss this, like I said today, and kind of, I guess, just talk about it and see maybe what that can mean for us. I did think it was interesting because in the past I haven't used oral narration with my preschoolers. I usually just try to get a language sample out of them, and the way they did it in the study was pretty interesting because we currently have the TNL, so that's the test of narrative language. And in the past it's worked really well for me back when I was in New York, but down here in Virginia it just seems to not necessarily be the best. It's good for the comprehension of the narrative, so like when I read a story and then I ask them questions, I feel like that's an accurate portrayal. But at the very end, when you give them a picture and they have to give you a story based on the picture, I mean, all of my kids just do a lot of descriptive sentences kind of just talking about the picture, and they don't really put together a cohesive story. And it's not just with the TNL. I've done regular image prompts where I've just printed pictures off the internet and I've asked them to like make me up a story about it, and they kind of do the same thing where they just describe the components of the picture. And this is children of all ages, not preschool, so it is a little bit tough. But they did say that there might be a correlation between vocabulary acquisition and also then your ability to retell oral narratives. I think that is completely 100% true, but I'm interested to see what my other friends have to say about it because I thought it was kind of interesting. The results are kind of what I expected overall. Like the actual immediate results aren't what I expected, just because I didn't know really what to expect from it. But kind of when they said they have difficulties with theory of mind, which is being able to understand other people's emotions, and also I think it's weak central coherence, and that's just their inability to focus on the big picture, and that they focus more so on the details, which are, I feel like, two hallmarks of, you know, people who are diagnosed with autism. I did find it interesting though, because I do think that autism is such a diverse diagnosis, and I feel like the saying is true that when you meet someone with autism, you've met one person with autism. I will touch base with you guys once I get back from the article review. What's up, guys? I am back from my meeting. We got let out early. It's only about 11 o'clock, so that's awesome. Also, it was a very informative meeting and I learned a lot of stuff, so that is a bonus. Some different things for our county that we're going to start doing, and just kind of for speech language pathologists statewide, some new regulations or some things that are in the works to start changing, which some of them I kind of agree with, other ones I'm still slightly curious about, but it is what it is. We're going to roll with it and keep moving on. This is the story that I finished last week, and basically what happened was on Friday, while I was doing a myriad of things on my to-do list, I was struck with the genius of writing a really cute Halloween story. And in hindsight, I probably should have developed the story plot a little bit more, because I didn't develop it pretty much at all. But it will work for what I need it to be, and it already is 20 pages. And I feel like that's probably about the attention span of most of my little friends that are going to be using this book, so I didn't want to make it too labor intensive. But this is a story of Bo the ghost, and it's this little cute ghost here that has to earn the last O in his name to become Boo, and it's just kind of all of the things that he does. Basically, he has two older brothers that get to go out and go scaring people, and he's always sad because he gets left behind because he's not scary, so he does a bunch of little things to try to become scary, but then realizes that he just has to be himself, and he gets his last O, and he becomes Boo, and all of his ghost brothers and him get to go out and scare people, and it's super cute, I feel like. My drawings, bear with me. I'm not the best illustrator in the world, and I did do this pretty quickly, but he's got like a cute little mask on, and he's trying to be scary, and then he finds some makeup, and he tries to be scary, but ultimately he realizes that he just has to be himself, and he says, Boo! And it scares the little boy that he's scaring, and all is well with the world. So I think this is going to be a super cute story to read with my little kids, and even maybe some of my older kids, just for the premise of being yourself. Although, like I said last week, I feel like the message is be yourself and you'll be scary, and I don't know if that's the best message to send to impressionable young children, because we don't want them to be scary. But overall, the message is be yourself. In this instance, he needed to be scary, so that's what he ended up being. But if you're yourself, people will like you, and things will be just fine. So that is the story. I don't know when I'm going to use it. I might even use it this week, honestly, with my other friends, because, like I said, today is a professional day, so I don't do my whole group lesson, or I would have read my book If You Give Even Monsters Need Haircuts. So I'm going to try to read it and do the activities later this week, but I'm going to have to kind of modify them so that they move a little bit quicker, so we might have some extra time, in which case I will read my book. And I'm also going to have some sequencing activities and some WH question cards for this. And I will put this up in my TPT store just in case anybody else wants to go on the travels with Bo/Boo. I totally forgot to show you guys my finished activity for my following directions, my scene that I did the graveyard scene last week. So here it is finished, and I just cut it out and I put some magnets on the back so it would stick, and it does stick. And then on the back I've got some of my pieces, some of them are in my bag, but I've got the little mummy, here is the little zombie boy, a cat, a bat, the ghost, and then my coffin, and then I just stuck them on the back because they don't stick as well to the front. Can't even tell. I'm filming on my phone. Apparently my camera has since broken. The lens is saying that there's an error and it won't retract. It died while I was filming, but kind of only half retracted, so it's a little a little wonky looking right now and it doesn't work, so I did make an appointment up at Best Buy. I'm not sure what's wrong with it. I tried cleaning it and doing a bunch of stuff, so I'm really sad, especially since it's Monday and I don't know how long it takes to repair them. To my knowledge, Best Buy doesn't do any repairs in-house, they send them out, so that could be like 2 to 3 weeks, and it's not really what I'm feeling, but we're gonna hopefully fix the mess and see what they say. I'm not 100% sure. It keeps getting a lens read error, like I said, so I'm gonna be filming on my phone, I guess, for the next little bit foreseeable future until I get my camera back, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that it all works out. I look really gross and sweaty. It's so humid and I'm shiny in like all the wrong places, I can tell. But I just wanted to let you guys know in case the quality or the sound is really different, or in case I'm not in focus because I can't see myself now. So I will catch up with you guys a little bit later and let you know how Best Buy went tonight when I go to drop it off. Okay, so here are some of the monsters that we just finished making. This is one of their favorite activities, so as you can see, this group is ready to decorate them next time. These were made by a first grade group of little girls, and they are super excited to get to decorate them the next time that they come. In fact, they want to decorate them tomorrow, but I don't see them again until Thursday. Also, my story is going really well. Even monsters need haircuts, although it was, like I predicted, way too much to do a story and the activity, so we are just reading the story today. I'm trying my best to finish it with all of the groups. This way we can just move right into the activity on Thursday and some of them tomorrow, but fingers crossed that I keep getting to finish it. They do seem pretty interested in the book. We're working on like identifying objects and using vocabulary, talking about the title, talking about words, WH questions, yes, no questions, some sequencing, some kind of, I guess, deductive reasoning and if-then statements. So there's a lot of stuff that you can actually do with storybooks, and that's why they're one of my favorite things to definitely use. And then also the activities just kind of build upon them so that you can target goals more specifically, which I think is really cool. But that is it for so far this morning. And then this afternoon I have some of my older kids. I did get 2 new kids today. They moved back into the district, so I have to rework my schedule to try to fit them inside, and going forward kind of adapting it and finding a group that'll best work with their needs. But that's it so far. I'm gonna go work on that for a little bit and eat my lunch, so I will check in with you guys a little bit later. Hey guys, so it is the end of the day. I just finished up with my last group, which was actually just one child because the other one was absent, so it's not a group. And I just got some information from my assistant principal for some paperwork that I have to do. So I am about to go work on that and also then finish up lesson planning for a few weeks from now. Next week and the week after that. I want to finish my candy game, clip art graphics, and I also want to finish the articulation spooky stories because I'm really hoping to do that next week. And I think it's going to be super exciting and my older kids are really going to like it. Something else that I've been really considering, and I think I'm gonna pull the trigger on, take the plunge with, whatever we're gonna use there, is a trapezoid table and some chairs. I really wanted to do flexible seating this year, but it's just not working out for my kids. They're too distracted, too wiggly, always looking out the window, and they just need that structure. For previous years it would have worked because I had a lot of higher up kids and older children, but my kids mostly this year are preschoolers and they've just always got a case of the wiggles, and the seats will help with boundaries and kind of keeping your hands to yourself and all of that. So I am on the hunt for a trapezoid table and some student chairs, because I don't believe we have any, or any that will fit in my room here at the school, so I will have to purchase it myself. But I am hoping to use some of the funds that I hopefully get at Fun Fair to pay for some of it, and I'm going to do some research tonight and kind of measure out my room and see, because my room is super tiny, and that was initially why I had gotten rid of the table years ago, because it was just too big for my room. But I'm hoping I can find one that will fit and will still allow us to use the floor for games if that's what we're going to do, but I really, just for books and tabletop activities, I really think that they just need that structure. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can find something cute. But I'm gonna go do that, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow. I just wanted to show you guys what we've got so far. I had a few groups this morning, and we are giving all of our monster friends some boo-doos, and I think they're coming out super adorable. and this is probably one of my favorite activities for sure. And I'm about to bring it over to my other preschool that I'm at, so we will see how they do over there, although they probably will take theirs home today, just because I won't take them back to hang up. These I'm hoping to hang up on my chalkboard with my other monster friend once they are definitely dry. I am having a little bit of trouble with the cotton balls, or the, not cotton balls, the pom-pom sticking, so I am going to bring the industrial liquid glue because the glue stick is not working so hot. Also, it helps way more if they color it first and then they get to do the hairstyle. Definitely going forward doing that from now on. But this is how they've come out so far, and like I said, I think they're really, really adorable. And I'm hoping that all of my groups enjoy making them as much as my 3 groups this morning did. It is the end of the day, and here is the aftermath of my Make a Monster game. We did this with some of my older groups just because they finished their monsters early and they really still wanted to play, so they got to use the colored version, and some of them came out really goofy. This one's kind of funny, and then this guy's super goofy. I love how creative they got with them because I never would have thought to put the arms up there and attach the eyes to the arms. It is the end of the day right now. Just like I said, I'm about to clean up my office because it looks like a disaster hit. I'm trying to think of some ideas on organization because this little cluster behind me, it's just not working. I really need to think of a way that I can store everything and also have all of the kids be seated, especially once I get the trapezoid table, which I'm still thinking of getting. Unfortunately though, yesterday when I was pricing it, I only had 1 chair. I thought I had clicked to get 3 chairs on the shopping cart, but it was just 1. So the price was much cheaper, obviously, with just the 1 chair, and now it's very far out of my price range. Whereas before it was just like, hopefully I could cover it. Now it's skyrocketed out of the price range, so I have to come up with some type of plan or something. I might see if we can get some chairs from the school, see if they have any in storage or what, because we're trying to figure it out. We do have a bunch of kids though. I think we have the most, so we shall see. Not sure how that's gonna work out, but I'm gonna head home and continue prepping for my fun fair game idea. I haven't figured anything out yet, and I'm tardy to the party on that, so I'm gonna go home and figure that out, and also work on some more of my candy game for 2 weeks from now, and hopefully finish up the articulation spooky stories because I did not get to work on them last night. So I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Good morning, my friends, and happy Thursday. I'm feeling a little rough today, so if that's why I look sort of disheveled, that's the reason. But I am here today. I am getting ready right now, and I'm gonna set up for my first preschool group. I think what we're gonna do today, since we did the monster haircuts yesterday, is we're going to do the Make a Monster activity, because I haven't gotten to do that yet. And it is an articulation group, so it's basically made for them anyway, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. I'm not sure if we're gonna do the pre-made one or the ones that they can make and keep. We might just do the pre-made one in the effort of time, and just because it's only today and there is 3 of them, so I feel like we might not get to a whole monster to being finished, and I don't want to not have them have the opportunity to complete it next week, but we are moving on then, so we will not have time. So I'm thinking that's what we're gonna do, but haven't decided fully yet. The next group after that will be finishing theirs. The group after that will be doing the haircut, finishing up their haircut monsters, and then at some point we're doing another reading of the story for a kiddo that wasn't here earlier this week. But that's pretty much it, just tying up all the loose ends for this week. I do hope that I can get some more lesson planning done today, because tomorrow I do have some observations to do, as well as some paperwork to finish up, and I'm also going to finish up an IEP to send home with a little friend today from their meeting yesterday, just to get the signatures and whatnot, because the parent was not able to attend. So I am going to go finish that, and I will check in with you guys around lunchtime or in a little bit. I'll see you later. Hello my friends, it is finally the end of the day right now and I am going to start cleaning up and lesson planning for next week. My room is pretty much trashed. It's a rough sight, so I'm gonna get that cleaned up. I also think that we might perhaps maybe have some trapezoid tables in storage, so I'm going to try to find the custodian either today or tomorrow and see if they can take a look for me, because that would be super amazing. And then I would only have to probably buy the chairs, which would help tremendously, and I would be super excited about that. So fingers crossed that they do have some 48-inch trapezoid tables in storage someplace, but we shall see. So I am going to get going and I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Good morning guys and happy Friday. It is a little bit late, it's already 9 o'clock. The school day is already underway and I am super out of breath because I have been running around like a chicken without a head this morning trying to get all of my paperwork done and everything filed to where it needs to be and mailed off and scanned and sent in and documented. So whew, all of that is done, and I also have some really good news. Look what I have! I'm so excited. The custodian was able to find a table. They're actually using a bunch of them for testing for kindergartens, but they have since finished, so they had some free, and she was kind enough to bring one up into my room. I am so thankful for it and super excited because hopefully now, starting next week, I'll be able to have a little bit more structured sessions, especially with my little friends, and I didn't expect it to happen so soon, so I'm really grateful for that. Super awesome. And I am going to finish up some paperwork. I have an observation to do today, but it's not until the very end of the day because that is when the children stop testing and they are doing kind of like a collaborative activity where I could actually observe the child using his speech and language skills. So I have that this afternoon, and then just some more IEPs and some things to write up, but the paper pushing part is hopefully done. So I just wanted to give you guys an update. I am finished with the spooky stories. I printed them out, so I'm gonna go cut them out. My only issue is that my cover looks fine when I open it in Google, but if I go to open it in Adobe, it comes up all sorts of funny looking. And this isn't the first time it's happened, but I'm not quite sure what is going on, so I'm going to try to figure out. I don't think it's a problem with the file itself, because like I said, it does attach and open up normal in Google if you just open up the PDF in Google. But if I can, I'm going to try to fix it, and then I will post it so everybody that perchance may would like to use these can also use them for their groups. Here is just what they look like all printed out. Each story is 2 times on a page. One is the student version and then one is the teacher version, and I have highlighted and underlined those target sounds and then a total amount that are in the story. So then you just write in whatever number that your student got correct, and then you can calculate it from there. So it also then on the student page it says like this is consonant clusters, this is going to be doing R blends, and like I said, this is just how many of the sound are in the story, and then it's highlighted so you can either hash them or circle them or whatever, and then you just divide it by the total number, and that's their percentage for the stories. And some have more, like some are really loaded up, they have 33, other ones only have like 18. So that's that. I'm gonna go cut these out and then put them all together. I laminated them just so, like I said, I could write on them, and just use a dry erase marker when I'm tallying and calculating, and there is 2 of every sound. So I did the TH, the R blends, CH, and consonant clusters. Those just happen to be the sounds that my older kids that aren't able to read are having the most difficulty with, so those are the ones that I went with for the story. But this is what they look like, and I will put them up in my TPT store hopefully by the time this video goes live, so that if you would like them, you can also use them as well. I think they're going to be really helpful. I'm going to try to black out the windows and get some flashlights so we can tell some spooky stories next week. These are my last minute pumpkin sorting activities, and this is totally what I do whenever I am running late on something. Usually I'll obviously color them in Illustrator and then print them out on just cardstock, but a quick way to do it in a pinch is just print out the outline and then photocopy it onto construction paper via the bypass feed tray. So I have all these different colors, and I'm probably just gonna honestly take these home. I cut them out this weekend. My room is still a mess. I'm going to try to find some chairs. I made labels for my bins, and I'm starting to label them and put everything in them. So hopefully that will be enough, and I will get some semblance of organization here soon. Oh my goodness, I can only imagine how my hair looks being that I did not do it today, but I really don't care. Anyway, it is pretty much the end of the day. I am going to clean up my room a little bit and pack up some stuff to bring home that I'm going to work on this weekend, because this weekend is going to be a full weekend of lesson planning and creating, also cleaning, because that needs to be done. But good news is I got an email from Geek Squad saying that my camera has been repaired, and apparently it's been shipped back out. I guess it went out today. It's saying that it'll come via FedEx. I'm hoping to get it. It didn't give me the tracking number. It told me to use the tracking number provided, but there was no tracking number. So I'm hoping that I can find it someplace, or it just shows up within the next 5 business days, because that's really awesome, because I really hate filming on this phone. I can only imagine the quality of the footage. So I'm sorry that it looks so bad. Also that it's so zoomed in and so close. Also sorry for the shortened vlog this week, obviously, because of the phone vlogs. My hands are super shaky, so I usually try not to film on my phone. But with any luck, I will have my camera back in my hands very, very soon. As always, thank you for watching, and thanks for sticking with me, and I will see you guys next week.